The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends?
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So we have a market that's a little off of its highs. In fact, a lot off its highs. We had some good news this morning geopolitically, and why it wasn't ballied about much. I think it was part of the reason we were higher. And now we have kind of a negative article out about geopoliticals, and I think that's kind of putting a little cloud cover on the market. Dow's up 132, S&P's up 5, NASDAQ's off 25. This morning, why we had some good earnings. It wasn't ballyhooed very much, but we found out that the North Koreans had disassembled one of their nuclear test sites and brought down all the scaffolding and everything. So it looks like at least on the missile front, we may be making a little bit. I think that kind of came in, although I'm going to say the press kind of pushed that under the radar. Now they're all over a Israeli plane shooting down a Syrian plane. Things have been kind of heating up in that area over the last couple of days anyway. And my guess is that you're going to have a lot more than this. Just watching the liners so far, there isn't that much. But everybody's massively worried. I mean, they're twitchy. And one of the other things we have to remember is that you only need a headline for the machines to operate on. It doesn't matter whether it's true or false. It's going to start putting its algorithms together and say, okay, we need to get selling, we need to go buying. And much like the Terminator, it can't be reasoned with. It can't be negotiated with. It's a killing machine. That's it. So in the short term, can it matter? Yes. By the end of the day, will it matter as much? Probably not. We're going to probably have to see another shoe drop to make that more of a reality. But everybody is kind of looking at that as one of the kind of the yin and yang of the day. Of course, we had on the heels of a very good earnings for Google, which I thought was going to had the other than Netflix had the next chance of whiffing. I think the rest of them all look fairly good. And we really don't have much after the bell tonight. I think we go into AT&T. So what we have to look forward to tomorrow morning, and I think we're probably on hold here too, is Boeing, Grubhub, Freeport McMoran, United Parcel, General Motors, Waste Management, Northrop Grumman. So, we'll look at these and some other ones out here. Corning already pre-announced some new products. Travago, Wix, some of these other ones. I think Wix had a bad earnings call last time. Pretty brutal. Anyway, a lot of that going in on Wednesday. Let's see. Man, they've got a ton of stuff on Wednesday. Once we get to tomorrow afternoon, what do we have here, though? I mean, there's just so much stuff. My guess is even with the news in the morning, what we're going to be waiting for is that Facebook earnings call tomorrow night. Advanced Micro Devices, Gilead, Qualcomm, Lion Technologies, Las Vegas Sands, Barrick Gold. We're going to have a good Wednesday. Mattel, Xilinx, F5 Networks, Sleep Number, Mondelez, IMAX, Vertex Pharmaceuticals, O'Reilly. I mean, there's always one day during the earnings cycle that has a ton of stuff that can either go one way or another and really make it change. There are just so many of them. Yeah, for the most part, they all looked okay. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always put a message in the den, even though it's kind of quiet out here today as we wait for more earnings and earnings after that, and then more earnings. And, of course, what do we have the rest of this week? Well, we've got the ECB on Thursday at 8:30, 8:45. We should see some actions in the indexes before the market open. 8:30 on Friday, we look at GDP numbers, and then we get back into more earnings. But I think we've got enough probably going through in Facebook that people are going to start making and taking longer-term positions into next week. And the reason why? Fun buying on Friday. It starts. So the question is everybody going to jump ship in the next couple of days? Doesn't look like it to me. You could always have some kind of black swan event like 9/11 or other things that we've had in the past, but just not a lot there. Anyway, we'll see how the market closes today. One thing that we do know, and that is that volume in these markets has been tepid. It was tepid this morning. It did pick up on that Syrian. You had a huge amount of people move in the last hour and a half. 3.9 billion shares. So we're going to have a bigger day out here than we've had. But almost everything running around 6 billion shares on up days and down days. And, of course, last time we were up here, it was about 12 billion shares on the way down off that last top at 28.75 or so on the S&P cash. So, again, just have a lot of stuff to look at, and I can understand and not having a position. Not having a position is a very good position when the volumes are light and the signals are hard to find. Those hard to find signals generally turn into very easy to find signals if you just have the patience to sit on your hands for a while. I have one long-term position because it is a long-term position, but also a long position because of the extraordinary long-term outlook on it. But for the most part, I'm willing to sit and wait for a very decent signal instead of try to act and play maybe a minor fluctuation. I suspect we will have some kind of long-term move out of this market and soon. Thought maybe we'd get it tomorrow in earnings. And been a little bit of fade out here by the end of the day. Not surprised. I can imagine a lot of people that I've met just horrifically bearish at the moment. And generally, the market doesn't hit a top until everybody's euphoric. And I don't see any euphoria, at least that I can find from people I talk to. They're all nervous. They're not yelling. They're hiding under the desk. They're doing the tuck and roll. There's a little bit of 1950s disaster preparedness speaking. We'll be back.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And let's do a little history, then we'll get to the market already in progress over most of TFNN.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1911, American archaeologist Hiram Bingham gets his first look at Machu Picchu and an ancient Inca settlement in Peru that is now one of the world's top tourist destinations. I've been there. If you ever go, I would suggest, if you don't live on the top of a mountain in Colorado, I would suggest that you go and spend a couple of days in one of the 6 to 10,000 foot cities before you go up there. A lot of people get sick. Tucked away in the rocky countryside north of Cusco, Machu Picchu is believed to have been a summer retreat for Inca leaders whose civilization was virtually wiped out by Spanish invaders in the 16th century. For hundreds of years afterwards, its existence was a secret only known to the peasants living in the area. And there are more of those down there. They're slowly digging them out. They've all been overgrown by huge forests and stuff, but a lot more coming that way. Hiram Bingham, a very interesting guy if you ever get the chance to read about him and find out more about him. But always wanted to make a name for himself, married into money, and wanted to be the life of the party long before, talkies and everything else and radio, and became that. He became the guy that everybody wanted to go see. Today we'd call it a one-man show, but he took his pictures and showed everybody what he was looking at, what he saw, and the first evidence that maybe everything we think we know about history, maybe there's a little difference out there, and that's it. Okay. Question in the den comes up. When will Apple and Qualcomm resolve its issues? I think that's old news because from what I've read, Qualcomm and Apple have buried the hatchet. It may have been, I talked about it 2 weeks ago. So is Apple still at it? I think so. But as far as all the patent issues, I think everybody's buried the hatchet on those. So, yeah, there may be a few things out there, but not much really going on. Everybody trying to attack Qualcomm because they have the keys to the palace and the promised land, as nobody else does in that sector, which is smartphones and other stuff. But doing pretty good. But yeah, I don't think that there's almost all that stuff is pretty much gone for the wayside. You may be seeing articles regurgitated, and that's not uncommon. I've seen articles come back 6 months later as if they were new. But pretty much everything that I've read on that says that they've decided to bury the hatchet, and if they didn't, Apple's going to have a huge problem. So yeah, okay. Didn't see whether or not there was anything in Apple that showed that anything was going on. Qualcomm pretty much flat going into earnings today. So where's my charts? There. I wanted to get into that. And we'll start looking at, we'll take a quick look at Apple. But I don't think that there's anything going on in that. Probably the biggest news out of Apple today and why it's higher is that Foxconn has told its investors that they got a order for a huge amount of folks. And when Apple orders, they order 100,000, 500,000 people. And I think that's why we've got a little pop in Apple out here. 20 million shares going into 26 million shares, which is the June 7th high. Yeah, we got 12.3 million, but we've had like 20. So you're getting up to that 194.20 high. Apple also one of the more easy to see how something bad could happen. And on the other side, you've got the biggest stock manipulator in the world, Mr. Buffett, on that side of Apple too. So very tough one to call. It's like it's the same thing as trading a stock with super high short interest, and that is, man, what happens when you're a little bit wrong? The thing can go much higher, and all he has to do is turn on the spigot and buy some more, or call up the CEO and say buy some more, because they've got a fairly decent thing. But Apple calling for at least 100,000 people and maybe more from Foxconn, telling everybody that we should be looking for a new phone in the fall from Apple. So that's kind of put a little fire under it. Not a whole lot. We don't know what it is. You know, it could be something else. But from the numbers, someone's building a lot of things. It probably isn't a new product that they don't know how many they're going to sell. It is probably yet another phone with some new features. And the question is, we know that in September that they're going to get the Qualcomm chip. Qualcomm's been running around the last few days talking about how slow the Intel chip is. And I think that's kind of where it's been left. But I think Apple is more than doing that, getting ready to put Qualcomm back in their phone. And my guess is that with some of the features of the Qualcomm, certainly the top-end phone, now that the patent issues are settled, will probably be, my guess is going to be all Qualcomm after the first of the year. Okay, what else do we have going on? Wanted to look through a few of them. We'll give the loser horn. Do we have the loser horn? I haven't played it for a while. Thought I had the loser horn. I've got the party horn. Oh, I found the loser horn. And that is Whirlpool blaming input costs when, for the most part, those haven't changed hardly at all. So when someone says something that doesn't ring true, Wall Street loves to punish them. And I think that's part of Whirlpool's huge gap down today. And that is that no one's buying the reason that they said that they were having these charge off, which is accelerating prices. Steel prices pretty much in line. They use a lot of that in their white goods in the washers and dryers. To me, it's a bigger issue with what they're pushing at Best Buy and other big box stores that sell this stuff. Whirlpool isn't the first thing that I see when I walk into the Best Buy or the rest of the Home Depots and the Lowe's. They've got everything, but Whirlpool's kind of pushed way behind. I don't know if that's because people kind of look at it as an old brand or whether or not the other companies have been more successful. There is a huge business in manipulating where your product goes in a store. And I forget the guy's name. We'll have to talk about it when it comes back. Yeah, LG, some of those other companies doing well. But we'll talk about grocery stores. There's a whole lot going on there that a lot of people talk about. We'll talk about that shortly. And other stocks.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. Hovering around that, up 6 points on the S&P cash after being up almost 20. Dow's up 134, Nasdaq's off 20. And again, I think we had a little bit of algorithmic movement from Headline news. Good this morning, and then, of course, a little worrying in the afternoon. And we'll see how this does. But the volume's been fairly light the last 3 or 4 days, so it's not strong up. It's not strong back, and everybody just we seems to go from one earnings call to another data point. But again, I'm not expecting a whole lot until we get to Friday, and then we're going to get into that fund buying. And I have a feeling if we still see people piling on short, and they haven't been able to break the back of the market by Friday, we're probably going to have a very good next week. Anyway, that is. See if we can get to this. And who's the big winner? It's ATI today. So let's take a look at that. Give them the winner of the day. Allegheny Technologies got right up to the $30.25 high of January 23rd, 50 cents short actually. Spike kind of came back, still holding a great deal of the gap higher today. You've got a little bit more energy. You certainly have the volume, and I think you're going to easily get that 6.6 million shares for January 23rd. So you should look for that to test $30.25. Let's take a look at a couple of these things. I think. Just looking through the news on here. Well, good numbers. Flat rolled products and steel up 18%. That probably looks good for FCX tomorrow when we look at that. High performance materials, components, flat rolled products, steel, aluminum, that kind of stuff, and special alloys. Let's take a quick look at FCX. Again, FCX probably not exactly that, but enough in the copper business. I see that they popped today back up to the previous gap down. That gap down had 38.2 million shares. Today we've got 18 million shares. So again, like I said, pretty much the whole market been on lighter volume. But again, the overall in the market, the volume on the down days isn't that great either. This may be one of the bigger days that we have out here. In biotechs, which have been kind of strong, I kind of like them. And one of the things I disliked was how much these things are a political football these days. Everybody's talking about it. And even the jawboning of the last 3 or 4 days from the president that's put kind of at least some pressure on the IBB isn't out here. But you've got this going after the $370 high from January 26 of 2018, the beginning of the year. You had 2.2 million shares. You're through that with 3 million shares already, not quite holding it. Seeing some people sell these or short them. But the earnings call was very good. You can't really say anything bad about it. Google, who I thought was the weakest of the bunch of the big FANG stocks, had the biggest problem, holding up very well. Opened up a little higher, 1266. What do we have out here? Trading around 1247. You got the volume, you got everything you want. You wanted 1.5 million shares or 2 million shares, depending on which way you want to look at these highs for March 12th and January 29th. You're going to blow that away. So, nice gap higher, nice volume, everything in Google. And that was the one that I thought with Netflix. Netflix had an issue with just transparency. Who knows what's going on in it? Google, there are a couple of blogs and newsletters just targeted search engine performance and some of the other ones from just traffic like YouTube. So you can get kind of an idea what Google is doing. The biggest problem I had was how many ads they're running, and will it be a problem eventually? Will they kill the golden goose with ads in an effort to push everybody to the red service? I haven't succumbed to that, but I have ways around it with browser add-ons of getting rid of ads. But it's been one of these issues that I can see a lot of people would be highly frustrated with the deluge of ads in YouTube if you watch a lot of YouTube stuff. Anyway, kind of interesting. After Harley Davidson's been beat up for a while about moving the American icon to the Southeast Asia, actually had some decent news out here. And maybe that was just like I said, a lot of these people are just hopping on these stocks and thinking that the end is nigh. I mean, even yesterday, you had 3 million shares going into a low of 4.8 million shares. So there was no signal that I saw. Volume off this July 9th high was actually less than it was on the way up. So this wouldn't have been one that I would have been short. It actually didn't look that bad after the last few weeks. We'll call it that. UBS. UBS had a nice pop, and kind of interesting to see some of these bankers from across the pond, as they say, doing so well, but certainly a nice bounce into this. It's got a previous high over the June 12th high. It's got it on volume. You've got 2.2 million shares already into 1.9 million shares. The next high up here is $16.45. You should look for that to get tested. You also have kind of a gap up there, and that is where real resistance is going to be, right about $16.75. Should make that one very tough in that area. Let's take a quick look at DBS, not DBS, DB, Deutsche Bank. Another one that's a little higher. Now this one, a lot more in the way of gaps. This is the most gappy stock in the world, as almost an ADF and euro pricing against it. But you are back into a fairly significant gap, even a bigger gap against this doji from the 24th of May. That came down on 11 million shares. You're just into it with 5.4 million shares today. So we have kind of creeped back up into that area. I think you want something like 1250, 1275 to find the real resistance, but certainly you don't have any kind of a big juice behind this move today. In the sector of defense, as we said, we have another one coming out tomorrow morning, but in defense this morning, we had Lockheed Martin. Big, wide-ranging candle today. Opened lower or higher, kind of sold off a little bit into the same price range. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks. Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Anyway, we finish up with Lockheed Martin. Really, you hit previous highs on heavier volumes, so you want one more retest of the 330 area. But you hit 329 twice. You hit it again, this time with more volume, and a lot of people are piling on. I was watching the tape. They are shorting this quite heavily. So in a day or two, will they be covering? I suspect, especially going into fund buying. So I don't see any reason to sell it nor buy it. It is neither fish nor fowl. So what else do we have? I wanted to look at another one in this aviation kind of sector, which is, if I can find it, UTX. Good in the helicopter business, and apparently the engines are doing extremely well. In United Technologies, they bought the old Pratt & Whitney business, and of course, kind of second to General Electric, and then Rolls-Royce in the jet engine business. GE really kind of looks like they've got the best, highest efficiency engines at the moment, but I have a feeling a lot of people are worried about the parent company looting it on the way out the door as GE, of course, circles the drain. So you got 5.7 million, 5.6 million shares. That's a pretty good day. 137.80 is the February 28th high. It has 9 million shares. So you got $2-3 up there to test at that 137 area. I don't see any reason why that would come back. Jet sales at the Farnham Air Show were very good. And probably the only real news out of Farnham was how many airplanes everybody's selling. So I would imagine if you're a jet engine manufacturer like United Technologies, you're doing good. These guys are really starting to reduce cost and pop efficiency with metal-centered 3D printing techniques. I know General Electric had been talking about releasing a new kind of general aviation engine that had a huge reduction in parts costs, and I guess they unveiled it for actual orders at the Farnham Air Show. So a lot of these things they're basically materials have been all about the upgrades in the last probably 10 or 20 years, a little bit of fan development. Now it's really back to engineering and machining and manufacturing techniques to make these engines much, much better. General Electric's been kind of at the forefront of that. You don't hear a lot about Rolls-Royce, mostly because they have a captive business in Europe where just because they're built over there. They're going to put a Rolls-Royce engine on it. They're not bad engines. I'm just suggesting that, especially the long hauls, even some of those guys are buying GE engines because they're just so much more efficient. So that's it. Yeah, everything. Yep, NetJets, all that stuff. Good business. Anyway, United Technologies, I'll always remember them because I used to do a lot of motorcycle racing down in Palm Beach, and right across the street was the plant on the highway. It's what's the name of that? Used to be called Moroso Avenue or something. And if you've ever been over there, kind of in the swamps back from Palm Beach, but I'd be I'd be racing down the straightaway at 100 and 160, 170 miles an hour, and of course one of their go fast helicopters would fly over the top of me that was doing something over at the facility. And of course they could do about 225, so they kind of like waved to me as they were going. The only better one was down there at Homestead, right next to Homestead Air Force Base, where you'd have the F-15s that were always on standby to go after Cuba. Those guys like to do the same thing as you were going down the main back straightway, which is about 3/4 of a mile or a mile or so, and they'd love to kind of get down there and just kind of look at you as they're going by at 250 miles an hour, 225 or something, and act all high and mighty. Give me a call at 877-927-6648. Okay, what else do I want to look at out here? We looked at that. We looked at that. Wanted to get to something else. We looked at Allegheny. What am I trying to remember I wanted to look at here? Well, let's take a look at Lilly. L-Y-Y in it. L-L-Y. And then we'll look at the IBB real quick because Eli Lilly up 2% today. Another one. This thing had been bouncing around these $87, $88 level. You got a firm breakout. You've got it on volume. You needed about 6 million shares. We already got the 6 million shares. So there are a handful of these that are already doing it. Let's go look at a little longer time frame in Lilly. You actually are above the 17 million share spike back from September 17th, 2015. And you need to have it stay in that area. Now, one of the things that Lilly has done is it's back in the $90 range. And you know my theories on it's like when bears got a taste of human flesh. You got to put them down. The bear gets you. Well, you got to go hunt the bear because once it knows that humans are food, it's going to attack other humans. Well, Eli Lilly hit that magic $90 mark. And like I said, 80% of the time when you hit anything in $90, you're just going to go to 100. I suspect it is the psychology of America where everything ends in 9/10 of a cent at the gas station. Does that even make sense anymore in today's world? It's 9/10 of a cent of anything. Shouldn't it just be all gone by now? But they get an extra penny each way. But anyway, yeah, pretty nice. Anyway, huge pop in Eli Lilly. That breaks you out to, of course, what else is going on, which is that $89 level from September 15th. Let's go even farther back. So, I mean, that's a pretty good sign right there. You can't be horribly bearish other than the fact that this is kind of a light volume off that high. Let's go back and look at that one. That had a huge spike on it, and I think that something happened in the IBB the next few days. I can't remember that now. That was on the 17th of September 2015. I will have to go back and look at that. But you are above that with a lighter volume. So what you really have to watch out for is any close below 89.27. Let's go look at the IBB real quick. We got time? Yeah, got about 20 seconds. Nice spike higher in that today. Still not a lot of volume. You opened up higher. You kind of rotated back a little bit lower. And I think that's all you need to say about that. But again, The last few days, I've seen a lot of shorting, and generally, the market goes lower when the shorts give up near highs. They are not giving up; they're piling on even more, and that makes me think that we're going higher still. Just have to give up. Just have to let it go. Market will go to a high, shorts will quit shorting, and the market can turn down. We'll be back in a minute.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And normally, on a day like this, I'm going to hand it off to Tom O'Brien in the 3 o'clock hour. Got a special treat, and that's Larry Pesavento. He'll be sitting in at the 3 o'clock hour. So, just tell a few people.
And he tells 2 friends, and she tells 2 friends, and so on, and so on, and so on.
Yep, that's what we hope. I got a lot of nice emails today. Just, here's the thing. Just tell 2 friends that are in the stock market. They hate the stock market. Probably not going to do much good. So hopefully the next time you hear a bunch of people acting like they know it all at the bar, probably about half drunk, you might want to mention to them that they can always tune into my show and others here at TFNN. And we can take a look at it. Okay, we were looking at the IBB. As we said, it did go higher. It kind of pulled back. I've been reticent to jump on this just because it's been such a slow mover up, but because I know one thing, and that is it is going to be a political football come the next couple of months. What I'm going to say, 1st of September. So you got about 30 days in this. I just would want to be out of it. The president kind of put a damper on this. Earnings are good. I'm just suspecting that the big move in this probably going to be right after the elections, when all the politicians have been bought off, as the way it generally works. Other things going on. I will be sitting in for Tom O'Brien in the 4 o'clock hour. We've got some earnings tonight, but we'll clue in a lot about what happens with AT&T, and then start looking at those earnings from tomorrow and in tomorrow night in the 4 o'clock hour, and that will give you a little heads up as to what I'm at least looking for. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. And it's all. I'll be here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2000